The importance of the Bible during the rise of Islam. During Muhammad's time, several versions of the Bible existed, each with its own history and significance. Here's an organized look at these versions and their relevance. The Septuagint. The Septuagint, also known as the Greek Old Testament, was translated from Hebrew to Greek over a period of time. The translation of the Torah, the first 5 books of the Old Testament, was completed around the middle of the 3rd century BC. The rest of the Old Testament was likely translated in the 2nd century BC. The Septuagint existed during the time of Jesus. It was a Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible, completed by Jewish scribes in the 3rd century BC. Jesus likely read from the Septuagint in the synagogue, as seen in Luke 4 verses 16 to 19, where he reads from the scroll of Isaiah, following the Septuagint version. The Syriac Bible, Peshitta. The Syriac version of the Bible, known as the Peshitta, was translated from Hebrew and Greek over a period of time. The Old Testament was likely translated from Hebrew in the 2nd century AD, while the New Testament was translated from Greek in the early 5th century AD. The Syriac Bible, Peshitta, has survived to this day and is still preserved and revered by the Syriac Orthodox Church, the Assyrian Church of the East, and other Syriac Christian communities. Manuscripts and copies of the Peshitta can be found in various locations, including Syria, Iraq, Egypt, Armenia, Georgia, and India. The Syriac Bible during Muhammad's time. During the time of Muhammad, the Syriac Bible did exist. Historical accounts, such as the story of Bahira, a Christian monk who is said to have recognized Muhammad's future prophethood, indicate that Syriac Christian texts were available and in use during that period. References in the Quran. In Surah Al-Ma'idah chapter 5 verse 68. When Muhammad stated, "If you have any dispute, refer it to those who have the book before you," he was referring to the Torah, Hebrew Bible, and the Gospel, Greek New Testament. This verse encourages resolving disputes by referring to the scriptures that were revealed before the Quran. While Muhammad himself likely did not have direct knowledge of Hebrew or Greek, he would have been aware of these earlier scriptures through interactions with Jewish and Christian communities, who preserved and revered these texts. It's also important to note that many Christians in the Arabian Peninsula at that time would have used translations, including the Syriac version, for their religious practices. Therefore, when the Quran advises seeking guidance from those who have the book before you, it acknowledges the validity of the earlier scriptures, whether they are in Hebrew, Greek, or in the case of the Syriac-speaking communities, translated into Syriac. Language proficiency. It's possible that Muhammad had some knowledge of the Syriac language. Syriac was widely spoken in the region, especially among Christian communities, and it was not uncommon for people to be familiar with it. Additionally, Muhammad's early life in Mecca and his interactions with various religious and cultural groups might have exposed him to Syriac. However, there is no definitive evidence to confirm that Muhammad was fluent in Syriac. Most of his teachings and revelations were in Arabic, which became the primary language of Islam.